Last week's episode left kind of a bad taste in my mouth, but the preview for episode 20 had me feeling at least a little hopeful that this episode would be at least a little better than 19. For the main stuff, we have Naoto Hashimoto as episode director, Ryuji Fujiwara on storyboards, Isamu Fukushima as chief supervisor, with Yuji Hakamada, Masahiko Itojima, Joji Yanase, and Yoshito Naito as the supervisors working under him. This is Ryuji Fujiwara's second time storyboarding on SEVENS, last participating on episode 16, the dishwashing episode. While it wasn't anything ambitious, what impressed me was how he conveyed scale, particularly displaying the size of a room, with high angle shots and a few low angle shots as well. He uses some of that here, though not as frequent. Though there isn't much of anything else outside of these particular sort of shots though. Not much I can say about Hashimoto's directing here really. Outside of the openings and some of the CGI action, there isn't much of his usual visual identity here. On the supervisor's side, it's surprising seeing Fukushima on an episode this week since episode 5. Before he did chief supervision on Studio 7's episodes. In my opinion, he was a good complement for Nagao's sort of angular old school style, which helped the episodes look a bit more on model. But since Studio 7 has officially left the show, we'll be seeing him a little bit more on these sort of episodes. While I don't really point this out often, at least not in these videos, a lot of these episodes have around 3 to 5 animation directors, and that's including the chief animation directors. What that indicates is that a lot of these episodes are put together in a very short time frame, which in itself shows why the quality of these episodes have been lacking. I've already talked about this in my previous video. Animation-wise, the majority of this episode isn't quite good at all. It's terrible actually, no word for it, rivaling even episode 7. Even reusing Diane Kaito's summon animation from episode 7, which wasn't really good in the first place. While some of this episode was outsourced to Studio Mito, this is mainly an in-house episode. So seeing this level of quality from an in-house episode is honestly rather alarming. Luckily, it isn't all doom and gloom. Shinya Yamamoto provided a good chunk of the good action cuts in this episode, showing some of that snappy timing of his. His detailed and dynamic drawings are also in full force in this episode, standing out amongst the very drab looking art of the rest of the episode. Though he contributed a lot of nice looking cuts, nothing here is really that stand out, since it's all very limited. Which of course stems from the fact that these episodes are made in a very short time frame. Overall, this episode was not good animation wise. I actually didn't even want to make this video, but seeing as the number of videos on this channel have been lacking, I thought I'd rather just knock one out. But also to show why I don't really like covering every single episode. Looking at the preview for episode 21, I'm not really feeling up for covering that one. So until a decent enough episode comes up, I'll see you in the next video.